That moment when you're spiraling and you're spiraling, but you can't stop. You're snapping at your partner, you're avoiding your work, you're over editing your Instagram caption for the seventh time, and you're like in it. That's not self sabotage. That is a part acting out. And there is a more intentional way to respond than simply silencing it or powering through. I'm Andrea Tessier, a master life coach and IFS practitioner. I help conscious leaders come home to their self so they can lead from clarity, compassion, and deep internal trust. If you're tired of doing the work but still getting hijacked by old patterns, you are in the right place. Subscribe for weekly videos that support you in leading from within. So when that part of you is acting out, it's not being difficult. It's trying to help. It's trying to protect you in the only way it knows how. So let's look at how this might show up. This could be the perfectionist part that's over editing, re recording, polishing everything until it's flawless and lifeless. It could be the shutdown part that goes numb in conflict or visibility, and suddenly you feel like a shell of yourself. It could be the fixer part that jumps into overfunctioning, trying to control outcomes for everyone, including you. It could be a seeker cart that opens up a dozen tabs, but buys another course and spirals into FOMO. These parts are not actually problems. They're loyal. They've formed during moments in your life when your system learned this is how we stay safe. But what worked back then may be keeping you stuck now because those parts don't realize that you are no longer a little kid who needs them. In IFS, we call it blending when a part takes over so fully, you don't even realize it's a part. It just feels like you, right? You are the anxiety. You are the rage. You are the cold shoulder or the people pleaser or the procrastination. You're not observing your internal world. You are lost in it. So the first step to shifting when we are blended is allowing ourselves a minute space of breath and remembering that you are not the part. You are the self who could witness the part. Self energy is always present, like the sun behind the clouds. And even if self feels far away in those moments, the moment you become aware that there is a part here, self is already online. Most people respond in one of two ways when a part is acting out. They might try silencing it and they might try powering through. So silencing it is when you tell yourself, that's just resistant. Just stay high vibe. Just focus on the positive. That is not healing. That is exiling parts of you. That part of you, the anxious one, the panicked one, gets pushed away. And like any child being ignored for too long, it starts to get louder. The other way that people meet these parts of themselves is by powering through, by overriding it with discipline, by pushing through and hitting publish, even when you're completely dysregulated. They take the call, they push through the launch, and underneath it, there's pain. The cost of this is the body tenses, the voice shakes, your spirit starts associating your purpose with panic, with stress. So sure, shit might get done. You might get some results, but those results are also built on self-abandonment. There is a better way, not silencing, not powering through, turning towards. meeting the part with presence, not punishment. So instead of silencing, instead of pushing through, what do we do instead when a part is acting out? Number one, the first step is we pause without shame. It's a simple but potent step of just noticing, oh, there's a part here. That one nanosecond of awareness changes the game. And yes, you might feel resistance here, and that's okay. Let that pause be enough because that pause allows you to move on to step two. Name what's here. Asking inside, okay, who is here right now? What part of me needs my attention right now? What are they trying to protect me from? And you might get a sense, oof, this part is scared we'll mess it up. Oof, this part doesn't want to feel ashamed again. Or, oof, I'm really trying to help you succeed. That's actually love. Messy and overprotective love, but love nonetheless. And it allows you to move on to the step three, to bring self energy into the conversation. Now, get this. Self doesn't need to fix the part. It doesn't need to reframe the part. And it certainly doesn't try to get rid of the part. Self energy relates to the part. Self energy says, I see you. You don't have to do this alone anymore. I'm here. And your breath softens. Perhaps your body responds. And you may start to feel a very subtle shift, a loosening, a softening. That's the beginning. If you feel nothing, that's okay too. You showed up differently, and that's everything. So to recap, when you notice there is a part of you that is acting out, what we call an internal family systems blending, step one, pause without shame, without judgment. Step two, name what's here. And step three, bring self energy into the conversation. Hearts act out when they don't trust at your home. And every time you turn towards one part of you with curiosity instead of criticism, that builds trust. And this is what self leadership really looks like. Not pushing through and not silencing, not pretending it's fine, but leading your inner world with love. And the more you do that on the inside, the more it's easier to do on the outside. If this video helped you soften or see yourself with a little bit more compassion, please like this video and subscribe. I'll be sharing more IFS practices and stories every single week. And I'd love to hear in the comment, what part of you tends to act out when things get hard? See you next time.